So I'll just wait until we get some people here. I'll set up the rest of what I have to get. I see the numbers are rising. Hi guys, how's it going? I'll be showing you guys how to make a pair of these leg shakers, and then I'll talk a little bit more about why we use deer toes in different ways, and just other, I guess, just other ways on how we use the animal as well when it comes to our forms of hunting, not only just for meat but for the bones and for the rest of the body that comes with the animal. I've been waiting to do this video because I have another video loading. I guess it takes a while for them to upload on Facebook, so I'll have some different videos coming at you this week. I'm gonna set my computer up so that I'm able to see the comments as well, because right now I just see the screen. Hopefully this is close enough for you guys. So I have it kind of prepped and ready, all ready to go. Show you over here. So this morning I took care of my toes. I drilled holes in them. As you can see, I haven't really cleaned up my mess of them yet. So you'll be hearing a lot of tapping, just making sure that I'm cleaning them out when I get it ready. And I'll be using, I found this nice thick piece of hide that I have. So this is just cow, it's just dyed darker. And then I just have some deer over here, just deer hide, just so that I can use this. And the only reason why is because this, I feel like this is gonna last longer. It's a lot thicker, more sturdy. Sometimes when you use just deer leather, you tend to see that your projects wear out a little bit more. But then I also wanted to make sure that there was movement. If I was to use pieces of this cow to hold my toes on here, they wouldn't have a lot of movement and be real stiff. So we want to make sure that there's movement in here. And I used a different color just so that you guys can see. I got my bag of just pony beads here. I just got black pony beads. Found a bag laying around, so that's what I'll be using, just to add a little bit more something else. I got my leather hole puncher here. I got my pliers just in case I need to get in there and use it to pull the leather out. I got my leather scissors. If you guys ever do any type of work with leather, I suggest that you get these. These are the best thing by far when it comes to cutting or prepping any type of leather work. They're nice and smooth. I got some rabbit fur still on here from one of my other projects, so don't mind that. But these are good scissors. Anybody that has been to my programs as well, you'll know when I say this, we only use these scissors for leather. You do not want to use them for anything else, even paper. No, you want to make sure that they're only used on leather so that they stay, that they last you long, I guess you can say, because I know being a crafter, we go through scissors like they're nothing, I guess you can say. I know I have so many different pairs laying around, from small to big to my leather ones. I'm just going to pull this video up here on Facebook so I can see any comments. I hope that you guys had a good Christmas break, that you guys enjoyed. I know it was much different this year around. Even I got that feeling with COVID and just not being able to gather as a family is very different, but we make do with what we can just for the safety of our own family and the safety of our own health as well. It's a big battle that we're going through right now. Okay, so I got this up and running. I think we're good to go to get started. So I'm going to put some of these pony beads. I just have this little lid here. I'm going to throw some of these in here so I'm not having to dig out of the bag all the time. Position myself so that I can see you guys. Okay, let's get started. So we have, I'm just going to move this aside. This is our main piece of what we'll be creating today. This is what it'll look like. I haven't had a piece to cut the leather to be able to do the backing up, but these extra holes on the back are just for our leg pieces so that you're able to tie it around your leg. I'm going to put it aside. I'm going to get going over here. So I need my hole puncher. So what I did is, when I use dark leather, I use a red pencil crayon. If I'm needing to do any type of line work or anything like that, so that I know that you can't see it, if there's any mistakes. When I'm using a lighter leather, I like to use maybe like a yellow-orange pencil crayon. So I'm just going to get in here. This is actually really hard. It's so thick, so when you're doing hole punches with this, it takes a little bit of a double hand strength to get this going. So don't mind if you hear me grunting in the background. And don't mind my buzzer, it keeps going off. Our team keeps messaging each other while I'm doing this. So I thought it would be nice to do a different type of craft. Usually I'm always on here and I'm doing some beadwork. So I thought it'd be nice to show that when it comes to crafting in our ways, we have many different styles of it. There's many different forms, from carvings to oh, that one was hard. Yeah, from carvings to some leather work, we got beading, there's outfit making. The list kind of goes on, I guess you can say. So I'm gonna get these out of the way now. Move this over here. Alright, so let's get started. So what I'm going to do is I cut these little pieces here. I'm going to make sure that my ends of them have an angle to them just so that it's easier to be able to put through. So I'm just going to start feeding the leather through. What I do is I just go so I'll make sure I feed all of the leather strips through. Sometimes I like to work one at a time, but when I find I'm doing videos like this, it's a lot easier if I just hurry up and speed through it. Actually, step by step, we'd say. So these shakers, these leg shakers are used when you see men out there. It's usually men that wear these, yes. When they're out there dancing, they have these around their legs. And there's different styles of how to use these deer toes as well. They have actual shakers. So it's either a form of like a stick or a form of a bone, and then at the end of it they puncture different holes at it and they feed through it. Then you add on different deer toes, so it has like a shaking noise, just like how we'd use like any other way when it comes to like rattles, right? So our horn rattles are used with like cherry pits inside, compared to our gourd rattles, which they would use corn kernels to add for the noise. It has a different, I guess you could say it has a different tone to it, you'd say, compared to it in a horn. So I'm just going to finish feeding these through. So I have all my leather pieces in. Now I'm going to work on to my beads. I'm going to put these pony beads, just string them right on here. On each one. This is where if you needed your pliers, you can use your pliers. Helps out so that you have a nice grip and you're able to pull through, because sometimes the leather isn't not the best at cutting leather when it comes to that. I know some people have it on like boards and they use those roll cutters so that it comes out even all the time. Me, I just sit there and find scraps and I cut the best line I can out of them. So I'm putting the beads all the way down to the bottom. I'm just going to continue on with that. These are actually very simple to make, a couple steps. I like to show different crafts like these so that you're able to see different ways on how we can use different pieces, right? I know so many people that don't know how to take care of the toes, so they actually just throw the legs out. And to me, the legs are the very important part if you're able to use these. I have a whole stack over here. So these are the toes that come off from the front, and these are the toes that come off from the back. So I've been cleaning them up, sanding them down, drilling holes. With the small ones, the toes that come off the back, I'll make some leg shakers and maybe a hand shaker just for a baby or something. Just for a little one, you know, because you can't really use them for the adult one. It don't make a huge sound like these do. Okay, so we got done our beads. Now we're gonna come over here and get our toes. I'm gonna pound them out just because I know that I didn't clean the insides of them. So I have my holes drilled. I'm just gonna start feeding them. I like to put my big ones on the bottom and then the smaller ones on the top. So this is where I'd use my pliers, get in here, right inside. I'll use them and I'll just pull this leather piece. And what I do after here is I push it all the way down. I'm going to fold it over and I'm just going to do one knot. And I kind of just pull that knot back and forth, just so that I know that it's secure. I have this much, so I want to make sure that I'm not putting the knot right down here, because if you do, then it tends to fall off. So we're gonna make sure that this is tight, and then I'll go like this. I'll hold here and I'll take this toe and I'll pull it up, just so that I know that knot is secure. We'll go on to our next one. So I'll tell a story as well when I'm on here. So I seen this story. I actually got gifted a lot of stories, just within not just our Haudenosaunee ways, but in many different different cultures and different tribes. I love to read up on them. I love to study them so that we have a different perspective when it comes to their ways, their ceremonies, and of course their crafts that they have created. So at socials we have a dance, and it's called a stomp dance. They said back then what they did is the men would sing and the women would actually be the one to have the deer toe shakers to use. So it would create that noise to help, because we didn't have the fancy drums like we do nowadays. Things were much different back then, right? I'm just gonna make sure I tighten these. This leather piece is pretty thin, so I want to make sure that this won't come off of here. I probably need to cut this one at a different angle. Almost there. I've been non-stop recording videos the last few days, and then some videos I gotta edit them, and then other videos I'm just waiting for them to be able to be downloaded on this laptop, and then I'm able to get them going. So what I'll do is I'll keep you guys posted. I'm creating a YouTube channel so that there'll be easy access for these crafts. Not only for that, but I know that there's a lot of people that don't have Facebook, so I want to make sure that we're able to cover that area with that gap. And then not only that, I'll have many different things. I've been recording a couple children's stories, so they're just Indigenous stories, getting them ready. I have a couple that are done as a book, and then I had some fun with creating some puppets for a couple shows on there just to add, so that keeps the kids interacted with it and making sure that they're having fun as well. I'm trying to make sure that when I provide this program that we hit all ages, covering that whole cycle of life is what we'd say. I'll have a couple healing teachings on there as well. I've been speaking to quite a few people that will be able to help provide that. We're almost done. On the bottom, because this one's... So if you guys see them, I'll show you up close. I scrub these down with a scrub brush, and I used Dawn. I tried to get as much dirt as I can. Not only that, but the other stuff that they walk in, right? But some of these just weren't able to get fully cleaned. And then I thought about it, you know, I thought, you know, back then we didn't have that ability to be able to, it's not only that, I guess you can say it's that side and that point of view of wanting something that you create to be perfect, which I teach it in all my programs. Nothing is ever perfect. As much as we hope and we aim, it's just like us as people, right? As much as we try our best to be perfect, we will never be, and we have to accept that we're all unique. And that's what I like to say, is we are unique when it comes down to it. So just with this as well, so it's like a deer only has so many toes on its leg, and so many legs on that deer. And when they're walking and they're on their journey, how far they've traveled sometimes is the beauty, I guess you can say. So I stopped scrubbing the dirt off, and I said, you know what? I said, whoever wears these shakers, they'll be able to have that. They'll be able to carry wherever these deers have went, you can say, that journey that they've went down. So it's a beautiful way, I guess. Whole different point of view. But I made sure I got the other stuff off of it, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay. This one's pretty thick. I'm gonna have to trim this. This leather piece here is just a little bit too thick. I'll toss it aside. I'll pick out this one here. It's pretty huge. And that was the best part about this as well. I got quite a few legs given to me to be able to provide this workshop and the teaching behind it. When I did, I was able to look at all the legs, the different sizes of the legs. You can tell how long they've been here, and some of them not so much. This is a thick piece of leather here. Let's see if we can get this knot in here. Pull on that some more. Turn it over. I'm going to finish these 3 that I got left. I'm almost done. I got one more to do, and then I'll be good. My daughter, I keep banging on the table, and she keeps thinking somebody's at the door. I'm just finishing this last knot, and then I'll make sure I go back through them. I'll do a quick little tug on them just to make sure that this knot is secure, and then I kind of just pull that bead down just a little bit and I'll even them out. So if I notice that one is hanging even, I'll just pull it. One shaker down. So then I have these holes on the ends of them here and here. I'm gonna cut that because it's a little rugged. And what I did too with my other one, I just went around and I just trimmed just a little bit off the sides because I noticed that it is pretty wide. I have this huge strip of leather here. I think what I'll do really quick is just cut a long enough piece. Unless I think I might have some laying around. Yeah, I can use these too. So I got just 2 strips here. I'm just gonna feed them in. Different styles on how you can feed this in. You can go all the way through and have two parts to be able to tie, or you can just feed one end, go to this side, feed this end here. And you would use these to tie up. And that is how you make shakers for your legs. Nice and easy tutorial, and they sound beautiful. So we have about I think we have maybe about 12, 6 altogether. Yeah, 12 toes on each leg shaker. Many Nyowies, guys, for tuning in. And I'll keep you guys posted. I think it says maybe about another hour or so that this other video will be up and ready so I can post it. Hopefully. I'll just be showing you guys a basic ladder stitch on a pair of earrings. Actually, I can grab you the demos that I have. So this is what the stitch is. This is what the teaching will be on the next video. This is just a feather in here. These are just different colors. And then I have just this random one here. These are all one sides. I do these for different projects and different craft videos, and I never finish the other side. I probably have a whole tote full of just one side of something. Maybe that would be something I'll create. I know that I've heard many other people say that they've started projects and they haven't been able to finish them. Either they forgot the teaching on them or just haven't had the time. I say, well, now since we have that ability and our time is here now, I know a lot of people are home now during this lockdown. We have a lot of children at school doing homeschooling. So it's I guess we can say the environment nowadays is just a little bit different. We have to find more ways to have a hobby indoors, so that we're making sure we're keeping everybody safe. But yeah, and for joining in, guys. I wanna